What's going on, guys? So we have a bit of a detailed review today on a fragrance that I assumed when I blind bought it, I would love the fragrance. It just, when I saw the note breakdown, it just kind of spoke to me like this is your style and your jam. And when I got it, clearly I was right, but on top of that, I didn't realize just how much I would enjoy it. One of the more underrated, mega versatile, affordable fragrances out there in the designer market is Mercedes-Benz Man Grey. We're going to talk about it. So stay tuned. Now, in regards to this scent, so I'll have the notes on screen for you guys. So this one is just, it's so smoky, warm, and spicy without being too smoky, too warm, or too spicy. It's got a strong ambery feel that you even get from the very top. There's a little bit of a citrus freshness from this citrus's note that it has, but it doesn't come across like a heavy lemon or grapefruit smell or anything of that nature. The pink pepper here provides just a light, sweet spice that's not too sweet, not too spicy, more spicy than anything, to be honest with you. And the Ambroxan here provides this nice, lightly shower gel-like feel, but it doesn't completely smell like a typical shower gel fragrance because the olibanum, the frankincense note that's used here, provides a nice, radiant, smoky nuance to this fragrance that sticks around from start to finish. I smell incense all the time. Those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know I've told you guys before, when it comes to my skin chemistry, olibanum, frankincense, different types of incense really pop off of my skin, and that's no different with Mercedes-Benz Man Grey. This is one of those fragrances that really speaks to my taste because I do like mass appealing, work for everything fragrances. Majority of the time, that's the type of stuff I want to wear. I do like the occasional daring fragrance, challenging fragrance, dark fragrance, and so on. But I usually like the versatile, more office appropriate setting type of fragrances, and this is absolutely one of those types of fragrances, but this is a little bit deeper than your typical office fragrance. It's not just two or three basic accords and it's relatively linear, pretty much the same scent from start to finish. This actually does go through a few different stages. There's a lot of backbone and character to this fragrance. We'll talk about performance in a little bit for when I speak of backbone for the staying power, but because there's so much going on, but it never smells like too much is going on. It doesn't come across like a messy blend because you get a little bit of citrus freshness up top, then it fades. You get that hit of amber at the top that the amber wood creates here, and it stays the whole way through, but it never overtakes. It just kind of provides this nice, slightly warm, light amber feel to the fragrance the entire time, giving it that backbone and that body that you would want from a fragrance to help it have a little bit more staying power. That sweet spice, more spice than sweet, that light shower gel feel from the Ambroxan, and that smokiness that you get the entire time. Like I said, there's a little bit of a lot going on here, to be honest with you. The accords are plentiful here without being a very complex fragrance. And that doesn't happen too often. The blend done here was done right with the notes given to make this aroma. I think this is a beautiful fragrance. You can find this in the $30 to $40 range. I paid $35 after the 35% off coupon code from FragranceNet. And I couldn't be happier. I wore it back to back days. I've been doing a bunch of test sprays every day since I got it. I've been smelling this fragrance every day for almost a solid week now. And I absolutely love it. It absolutely gets my stamp of approval when it comes to the scent. It smells great. It's a little more on the masculine and slightly matured side, but I really believe any age, I would say 20-year-olds and above, would appreciate this. I do think there's some younger fellas that would enjoy wearing this fragrance also, but definitely 25 plus, I think, will appreciate it even more. And probably one of the better office setting fragrances I've ever smelled that will separate you from your coworkers because it doesn't smell like everything else, but it encompasses a lot of things that make for a good crowd pleaser at the same time. Moving into performance, this is actually very solid. This stuff is 6 to 8 hours. That's kind of been the range of where it's been falling on my skin, more in that 7 to 8 hour range, honestly. So above average, not a beast by any means, but the 6 to 8 hour mark is my wheelhouse. That's the sweet spot for me. And I definitely get all of that here. It never seems to want to completely fade away till into the 8, sometimes even 9 hour mark to where it starts to get really faint and I would consider it pretty much done and over with. And then the projection here is not overwhelming. It's present and pronounced without, making a huge statement, but the statement that it will make is a little bit more of a classier, elegant statement than just a, ooh, hey, look at me. It's kind of there's a little bit of a refinement here without it being too serious of a fragrance. I feel like this kind of rides the line of casual and formal. It kind of rides that line perfectly. That's why I think it's signature scent worthy overall, because it can do a lot of things really well. And the performance suits it to do every season, really, because it's not too loud, it's not too weak, it's not too strong. It's really in the sweet spot, I would say, for what most people would hope to at least get from a fragrance. Projection, like I said, arm's reach type of stuff, not too strong, but still pronounced, especially in the first 2 hours. Even going a little bit past the first 2 hours, I feel like it took longer than I anticipated for the projection to kind of calm down, for it to really settle into the sillage that you were going to be working with for several hours following. Your sillage is that scent bubble and scent trail that will follow you around for the remaining life of the fragrance. And here it's more on that moderate side. It's not a mild trail. It's a little bit stronger than that. That's why I would classify it kind of somewhere in between that moderate and mild. So when you walk by somebody, they will be able to get a whiff. It won't be a super strong whiff unless you're really close when you walk by, but average couple feet away passing by, depending on the circulation of the air in the room. There's so many things that factor into it if they'll be able to smell you, but more times than not, they probably will be able to at least lightly detect the fragrance if they're breathing through their nose. Sillage on it, like I said, moderate to mild. Projection in the average, moderate range, and above average in longevity. So it kind of falls into the sweet spot across the board for me. This is, like I said, my type of fragrance. The scent profile definitely fit it, and it turns out the performance is exactly what I like too. My overall thoughts and feelings on this one is I think it's super underrated. It's not a best kept secret type of fragrance. People know about it for the most part, but it's one that not enough people know about, is kind of how I look at it. This is a great fragrance for the $30 to $40 price bracket. From discounters online, rack stores, people are finding them at Burlington's and places like that for 30 bucks. This is a great fragrance. Great fragrance. It's not playful. It's not some super compliment magnet. It's a little bit more refined than that. I'm not saying it can't pull a compliment. I personally haven't gotten any compliment other than my wife enjoying it, but you can't always count that. I mean, she's going to give me some kind of feedback if she gets a whiff of whatever I'm wearing every single day. But as far as random people, no, nobody's commented on my fragrance in the time I've spent with it so far. But I'm not saying it can't pull a compliment. It does smell really nice. Like I said, it's very good in my opinion. This is a very good fragrance. And speaking of my overall rating for this one, this is absolutely a 7.5 out of 10. Very good. If it would have made an 8, I'd put it as a great fragrance. I think it would need a little bit more going for it on the quality, to be honest with you. It doesn't smell overly synthetic, but it doesn't smell like a high-end luxury fragrance at the same time. For what it is, it does smell a little bit better quality than you would expect from a lot of other fragrances in the price point you can get this for. So as far as the level of quality of the scent for its price point, it definitely exceeds But overall, 7.5. That's a great rating in my opinion because I think this is a very good fragrance that more people need to get their hands on. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on Mercedes-Benz Man Grey. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have tried this, have smelled this, own this, love this? How many of you don't care for it? There's going to be a little bit of everything. You know, not everything's for everyone, and I totally understand that. Subjectivity, it's an art form. There's going to be subjectivity. Perfumery is a form of art, and I think this is beautifully composed. I really dig this one. I've been enjoying wearing it, so much so that it's making me want to get others in the line. I did have one other fragrance in the line, Mercedes-Benz Man Bright, and now I just recently purchased a few more that I have coming in, the original and the intense. I plan on getting the blue. I'll get private eventually, but this has really sparked me to really want to dive more into the line because I think it's that good. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Mercedes-Benz Man Grey and you give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.